It falls to me both the honor and the responsibility to kind of introduce this discipline. Um, for those, with apologies to those of you for whom this is not new, I've been doing the counting of the Omer in this manner at least, for about 25, almost 30 years now. But for years before that, um, okay, Maddie, hi. Um, for years before that, I grew up Reformed, no big deal. Just a short bio. I went to Israel, became a Baal Tshuva before it was the fashion, and learned the counting of the Omer the way people do it in the traditional format. Um, it is done in traditional communities in the evening at the end of the Ma'ariv, the evening service, and it's supposed to be done not this early for me or for Mark. I'm still light here, but it's supposed to be done at night for that evening. Um, technically, I'm not doing a blessing in vain, but I'm going to do the blessing with you for you. Um, so as I wrote in my PR, and Mark did some of his. Can I call you Reb Mark, or you like Reb Mark, sir? Yes.
Red Mark is fine. As my
Uh,
father would say of blessed memory, just don't call me late for dinner.
just don't call me late for dinner. Yeah, he and I are unmuted. But thank you guys for saying new here and so on. Um, so the brief overview, and you will be getting this. I'm honored to be in this group. You'll be getting this from Min Kantrowitz next week, who wrote a book on the counting of the Omer. Um, so very briefly, we are a people of memory. We are a people who adapt and change and and make new meanings. You know, there's an orange on the lemon on the Seder plate. This year there was a lemon on the Seder plate. Next year maybe there'll be a coconut on the if we all move to Brazil. Um, so Omer is, as most of you know, but I'm just going to do the Mr. Rogers. And Omer is a measure of a grain. It is, I can't give you the exact parallel to an American weight, but it's more of a volume than by weight, like they used to say in packages. This package is sold by volume, not by weight. But it was the other way around. So an Omer was a sheaf of barley. And during the period when the temple stood in Jerusalem, and it's right there in the Torah, people were told to bring a sheaf as an offering to the temple during this period between Pesach and Shavuot. And there's even questions when it begins, but it's been settled for many years, for thousands, a thousand years at least, that it's done starting on the second night of Pesach. You can take the Jews out of slavery or the Israelites, but how long does it has it, will it last to take the slavery out of the Israelites? So there's also a sad element, which today I don't observe, but many people still do. And that is that during this period, there was also persecution of the rabbis, especially the rabbis who were later going to be the ones who um, brought the rebellion, the second revolt against Rome. And there's myths and stories about a plague that afflicted many thousands of Rabbi Akiba's disciples. Again, was it a plague or was it the persecution of the plague? So it is considered sefirah if you talk to a Chabadnik or an Orthodox Jew or even a conservative Jew. During the counting of the Omer, people don't get married. I got my hair cut and now I'm going to grow this, but that's because I want to also. But I don't know if I can stand to. But you'll see people, men with beards, and because they're growing it, because they're not shaving, and it's traditional not to get married during this period, not to go to really joyous events, except on the 33rd day, Lag BaOmer, and now in Israel, many people say, well, Israel Independence Day should also be a joyous day. Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the Omer, is again, mysticism comes in. It's believed to be that day that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and his son emerged out of hiding from the Romans. So, so the Omer has, for many years, traditionally been a time of semi-mourning, semi-grief. Well, so we don't know exactly when, but probably about the 10th or 12th century. Um, they began to notice, and some of you know, that there are 7 weeks and there's 7 days of creation. And I don't know whether I can show everybody a tree of life. Some of you have seen it before, the the Eitz Chaim. And do you have that handy? Because I can put one up. But the Eitz Chaim, the tree of life that looks like that. Whatever you want to call it, like a big molecule, um, is uh, considered to be a guidance for the Kabbalah. It's a model. So the top three, this is not a Kabbalah class, I understand, but the top three, love, there it is. I know, Batya's showing it. I'm going to show one. The top three um, levels are beyond our comprehension most of the time. And I'm going to do it from a graphic just so we have a picture for ourselves. Um, and so I would call the lower seven, which begin with the day today, the word Chesed. Let me see if I can find that one I was looking for. Um, this is good. This is an Amidah one. Um, and each of the, I'm going to share it just a second. Each of the um, sefirot, the word sefirah, meaning um, orbs or attributes, but they didn't miss the fact that this is a tree of life on the human body. It's just one of the many models. Some of you have seen these before. They didn't miss the idea, the fact that the word sefirah, which means sapphire or counting or telling a story. I hope this is all being recorded so you can have this. So we're telling a story about the Exodus and about our journey through the desert on the way to Egypt to get the Torah at Mount Sinai, leaving Egypt. And so somewhere they started to say, Sefirah, counting, you shall count, usafartem, right? You shall count, or you shall recount. So as these orbs on the tree of life began to be developed, um, people began to say, you know what? This is a template for our journey. Let me show you one other. Um, this is the classic one. Um, but let me show you the one the with the names in them. So, whoops. So Chesed on the um, often associated with the first day of creation, light, the color purple, or you can still see that screen. Yes, purple or ultraviolet. That's why it shows this color of shirt. Um, and it is the first day of creation, as I said. And on the first day of creation, God says, "Let there be light." Okay. So I'm giving you a few, again, I'm reminding you, I'm not teaching a Kabbalah class. I'm just giving you the sense of what we can identify with this attribute. As I said a moment ago, the top three um, sefirot of Chesed, Chokhmah, and Bina are not beyond our comprehension, but you might think that the top of the brain, the right brain, and the left brain. I know this. I intuit it, and I make sense of it. I can discern Bina. But these seven lower sefirot, identified with seven limbs or areas of the body, became the structure through which the counting of the Omer um, was run as a template. So I'm going to go back through it again. Um, First day, and this is I'm doing Chesed tonight, but because the counting of the Omer is 7 weeks of 7 days each, and you'll learn this in coming weeks with each of the other teachers, each day has an attribute for that week and an attribute for the day of that week. So this is the week of Chesed, loving kindness. All right, so again, I'm going to go through the metaphors or the things connected with the first day of creation. Have some more light, says God. I'm channeling Zalman, I think. Have some more light. Have some more light. There's plenty of light. There's never going to be any, you're never going to run out of light. The word Shefa comes to mind. We have a teacher named who chose that name. Shefa means abundance. I live in Wyoming. I like the nature. I'm not so sure I like the politics, but there are such beautiful mountains here and beautiful streams. And my friends to the south who live in Colorado have those beautiful rivers. When was the last time you were in nature and just felt the rush of the waters? So Zalman, in his wisdom, compared the shefa, the flow of Chesed, to the waters. Now, the next week is the week of Gevurah, and I'm teaching about it just for a second because we have been through, or will be going through, each day an attribute of this week with the temperament, with the added temper of a day. So Gevurah, I want to make this relationship between Chesed and Gevurah. Um, Chesed is loving kindness, pure, unadulterated love. And you might say the way that a mother feels, you can be in another room. And this is not that's not about women, it's just a feeling, it's a comparison. These are all symbols. How a mother feels when she's in the other room and her child needs to nurse. Her milk begins to flow, right? This is, again, something Zalman once taught us. But we need to have chesed in our relationships with each other, with ourselves. And I'm going to get to a very important point in a moment about the meaning, the how I understand the counting of the Omer. So if I were to say, how can I love myself more? How can I love you more? How can I show kindness? And, chesed is really a fully um, personified feeling. So here's again, these are just examples. These are not necessarily, I should say this as well. The name sometimes implies the value, not in every case. People who study Kabbalah, as you see on that particular diagram, people say there's a name of God, there's a holiday, there's a day of the week of the creation. Um, and there's a body part. But chesed is how you feel when your best friend comes and says, "Hey, Moshe, I need $1,000." We have a guy here in town who had moved here, had almost nothing, and we all got together and somebody gave him a car or sold him a car very cheap, and I got him things, and so the chesed. But now he's doing okay, and I'm starting to feel that I have to. This is gevura. You have to say no sometimes. So Chesed and Gevura, and you'll see at the bottom of the tree, Netzach and Hod are in a the relationship. We Jews, this is again one of my jokes, we are bipolar people, right? Whereas our Indian friends go down the tree, down, all the way down, anahata and so on, straight down. We go back and forth, back and forth. Chesed is, you want $1,000? I'll give you $1,000. The child needs your love, needs your hug. There's plenty of it. You're never going to exhaust your um, flow of that love. But Gevura, and which Gevura, and we'll talk about that next week as well, Gevura gets a bad rap. Gevura does not have to be limit setting in the classic sense of no, 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 no. Again, Zalman once taught that the the channel, here's the river again, the river is flowing, bringing that love, and all of the tree of life is flowing, it is light, is giving us light. The chesed needs something to structure it. So Gevura is that structure. When I worked in the prison system, I was always going back and forth between these two. I had to love and respect and care for my patients, for my inmates, my clients. But because it was a prison, not because I didn't trust them, but because it's a place of structure. And so you have to have structure also in teaching your children. You don't say to your kid, I love you, go play in the street. They'll get hit by a car. So Chesed, Gevura, and Tiferet, I'm sorry, here. Chesed, Gevura, right shoulder, left shoulder, and the heart. There's also an aspect, again, this is not a Kabbalah class, but I want to give you a little bit of this. There is an understanding in the tree of life that this side of the tree is called masculine. I would say it's more of the word yang, as in yin and yang. It means chesed says, here, have some more, have some more. Not that men do that. It's the quality of giving and not caring and giving more. Whereas the left side or the feminine or the female side of the tree, Gevura and Hod, is sheltering and giving and caring. So they decided, I'm not saying they were sexist, they needed to have some kind of labels. So the yang side of the tree is here, and you notice that Chesed and Netzach are balanced. They're both on this side with that quality. All right, so have some more light. Have some more light. There's plenty of light. And Gevura says, you know what? You can't go around giving everybody everything all the time. There have to be limits. And from the balance of Chesed and Gevura, we get what we call Tiferet, the centeredness. So there is I'll give you the chart in just a moment. Um, so I want to play a song that I wrote, and then I want to do a song for some music to get, instead of talking, I want to give you something to connect with musically. Um, uh, Many years ago, maybe 25, 30 years ago, I was doing a Hanukkah program at the Elysium Institute in LA, Topanga Canyon. May it rest in peace. It was like Harbin Hot Springs, and which still exists, clothing optional, and a place to hang out. That's why it's called Elysium. And the people who invited me to do the Hanukkah program said, "You know what, Rabbi Moshe, they're not classically oriented Jews. If you come and do dreidels and Hanukkah and Maccabees, people are not going to get it." So this is the song I wrote, and it's, if you could, Deb, put it up. Light is shining. So this is instead of me talking for a moment, take in the light, take in the love, and so I'm going to play the song. Light is shining into me. And can you put it on? Can you put the lyrics up? Light is shining. And I'm singing along with myself here. I am shining light. Light is shining into me. I am shining light. Light is shining into me. I am shining light. Second verse. Breathing into me. I am breathing God. God is breathing into me. Is it up? The lyrics? God. God is breathing into me. I am breathing God. God is breathing into me. Deborah, do you have the lyrics? It's the stuff I sent you.
The lyrics are showing,
Oh,
Reb
I
Moshe.
don't see it. Giving love to me, I am loving all. I am giving love to me, I am loving all. I am giving love to me, and you can be around. Is shining, light is shining, I am shining, I am shining, I am shining, light is shining, I am shining, I am shining, light.
For some reason, it's cutting in and out, and we're no longer hearing the song.
Oh, original sound on. Okay. Now is it better? There.
Yes.
Okay, I had the sound off. It's very short. It's going to end in a minute. Shining light, I am shining light, I am shining light, I am shining, I am shining light, I am shining light. So keep the slide up, Deb. I chose to play the music rather than. Oops! Oh, now I got it. I forgot I have it on repeat. Hang on. Light is shining into me. I am shining light. Yeah, I had it on repeat. My bad. So music and light and art and of course nature, water, light, all those elements connect with us on a visceral level that is different than a person talking to you or at you. But while we have this music on, I want to play another song. And I'm going to sing it live in honor of our dear friend Yaakov Gabriel, who lives right here in Boulder or nearby. And Yaakov wrote this many years ago. You may have heard him sing it at a Kala or something. And I want to do it in his honor because he's not well. He's not dying. Well, he's not well. I'll leave it that way. But both of them together, I hope, get across to you the idea of what Chesed can mean. You don't have to scroll back up to my lyric, but Chesed is coming into me. I'm going to speak in a moment about ways to look at the Omer, right? Chesed, light, is coming into me. I'm letting myself, we're going to do the blessing. When I do the kavanah and I say, I am ready to count the Omer, I'm not just counting the days the way I did when I was in the Orthodox world. You know, I do one day, next day. But each day, I'm allowing the energy to come into me and I'm sending that out. So that's how I wrote the song. Light is shining into me and I am shining it out to those, because it was Hanukkah. God is breathing into me and I'm breathing God out to you. Yah, right? And then all are giving love to me was the idea that, you know, if you let yourself be limited, then you're not going to be open to love. And by the way, this is my kavanah. Today is a day of Chesed, a week of Chesed. I'm hoping I'm putting out the energy to find my bashert. Maybe some of you are in that same place. So I'm loving all. Now, what Yaakov did with this song is, whether he meant it or not, for this day, it's the story. It's right there from Exodus. I did lift you up On loving eagle wings, I have brought you back to me. I did lift you up. On loving eagle wings, I have brought you back to me. You will be my precious ones, for all the earth is mine, and you will be a sacred family in touch with the divine, forever, for all time. I see some of you singing. Ve'esa etchem al kanfei nisharim va'avi etchem elai. Ve'esa etchem al kanfei nisharim va'avi etchem elai. Ve'hitem li sgula ki li kol haaretz, ואתם תהיו לי ממלכת כהנים וגוי קדוש וגוי קדוש. So now we can put that aside. Maybe we'll do a song at the end. We will do the Anna Bakoach at the end. So I realize this is a bit of a lecture. I want to ask a question and watch the clock, and then invite you. How many people we have? To have about 30 people, 40 people. How do you experience the universe's love, right? God's love, if you want to call it God. It might be something as simple as when I think about nature, me being near the Grand Tetons, or I'm grateful for my body. You know, I'm young, but I'm older than I look. Last year at Pesach time, I had a health crisis. I had a bleed that was causing me to lose blood, and I started fainting all over the place, and I had to call the synagogue and say, I can't do Pesach. Both, two synagogues. I couldn't do first night, I couldn't do second night. I spent the night, I spent Pesach in the hospital, for God's sake. And I'm fine, Baruch Hashem, but because of that, I lost so much blood and iron. I experienced for the first time in my life what it was like to be in the hospital, and I was so grateful for the nurses and the doctors and even the African chaplain that came and visited me and my congregants, and I got to watch on my computer as the shul led the Seder without me. It was a humbling experience, but when I came back, I said with real intention the blessing that you know that you say in the morning, right? Thank you, God, for making all of my vessels and my arteries and veins, those that are open are supposed to be open, those that are closed are supposed to be closed. And I said it and I explained to them, you know, I lost 2 pints of blood just from this bleed. So what are you grateful for? What do you feel? Where do you feel this sense of never-ending flow of kindness from Hashem, from God, from the universe? Fran Shore, I don't know you, but she's got a beautiful background there of the circumference of the I think it's the world, the earth in at night. Someone else, Marita, you have flowers behind you. So where do you get that sense of love? Second, or if you prefer, the other question could be, where do you give that sense of love? To your loved ones, to your friends? But the kavanah for this is, we're looking at Chesed as the sense that you, I don't want to say have no choice, but you say, you know, I must do this. I'm called upon. A guy, not even a member of our shul, was dying. I was called to do hospice. I went to his side. I did prayers. I did vidui. And I thought, I'm done, right? Because it's going to go to... No, I had to stay. I had to arrange for the Chevra Kadisha of the synagogue to do this, guys. We have a Chevra Kadisha in our tiny little synagogue in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and we dealt. So that is called, if you don't know what a Chevra Kadisha is, they call the ritual of preparing a body Chesed Shel Emet. Chesed Shel Emet. The last deed, the last thing that you can do for a person when they can't do it for themselves. There's a body. I know when you get all gross with you, so you go to the funeral, you go to the shiva because you must. So anyway, if we could break into groups, if Deb can do this, but very, very briefly, groups of 4, and share with your friends in the group, and we'll come back. Let's say less 5 minutes if you can manage it. 6 if you got 4 people. So, and she'll make up the groups. And you may not know the people, you may know them very well. Just 2 questions, or if you want to, just 1. How do I experience chesed, love, giving, and this energy? Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. That kind of song. Or how do you give? So you could do either or both, but not too long. Just so we have something to hang this value of chesed on. Okay, can we do the breaks? Or should I
So,
continue?
so I'm going to interrupt here for a moment, Reb Moshe,
Okay. Yes.
to say that here at Minyan Oneg Shabbat, and I want to welcome those of you who have come since we began. I'm Rabbi Mark. We have a minhag. Our ritual practice is to have our videos and our audios on when you go into what we call breakthrough rooms as opposed to breakout rooms. So whether or not you have your video on right now, we're going to put you, we're going to invite you into the rooms, and you're going to have to accept going into the rooms in order to meet panim el panim with another one of the holy presences here. So if you don't have your video on right now, why don't you do that right now? Make sure that your audio is on as well. And when you get to the rooms, 5 minutes, give each other enough time. In other words, don't take all the time for yourself. A minute apiece, something you're grateful for,
this is only
something you're grateful to receive, and something you're grateful to give. When do you feel gratitude? And those are your 2 prompts going into the rooms. Of course, you say hi to each other.
Yes.
Rabbi Moshe, do you want to go to a room?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
That way you get to know.
I'm just.
Sorry, I'll put you in a room. No problem.
And you want me to put Jeannie? Hi, Jeannie.
I just moved Jeannie.
Okay. We're going to put you in a room.
No, I just joined because but I guess you're just going to breakout rooms now, and I didn't hear what
it's just to
has
talk
been
about
happening up to
Chesed.
now.
They'll be able to tell you when you get there.
Okay.
You'll get it.
All right,
You'll
fine.
get
it. Okay,
yeah. Okay, I'll put you in a good room, so you'll be well taken care of.
Thank you, Deborah.
Wait a minute, let me find you the best one. Okay, I'm going to put you in room 6. Okay.
Personal attention.
Have fun. Okay. Have fun, Ruth.
It's 5:10 now, so we'll give them to 5:15, maybe a little longer.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This is why I said to him several times.
Of course.
Like, I'm not a magician.
Yes, to me you are.
Well, I did it all. No, I'm not going to a room. Are you kidding? No, I need to breathe now so I can be ready for the second half.
I don't know if you noticed, I've been letting people in.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah.
That last person she's the administrator for MOSH, not MOSH, for AOP.
Ruth Alcabas?
Nice. Yeah, so it's nice that she came.
Very nice. Okay, so far so good.
I don't think he's going to get through all his stuff.
You don't think so?
I mean,
That's,
he gave me
uh,
stuff like, whoops.
oh,
Oh, Jeannie came back. Jeannie?
I hope he gives some homework, is what I hope. Jeannie, are you there? Jeannie? I dream of Jeannie sometimes. Oh, now she unmuted herself. So let's see whether Jeannie. Oh, now she muted.
Sorry, I'm on two devices and very confusing. I'm trying to get off of this one. So sorry.
President.
Jeannie, you're trying to leave the meeting?
Very well.
Yeah, sorry.
Vacation, Rabbi.
I can't get on video on my phone, so I got on my computer and I'm in a different breakout
Okay,
room
so
on
I
my
need to
computer.
put you in the other room. Do you want to go to the room where your
No,
other
I'm just trying to get off of this device.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Well, and I don't take that for granted because,
Oh, but you're in a room, so we have. Oh, she went
Yeah.
back. Okay.
Okay, so
There's someone
somebody
in the
just joined
waiting
us.
room now. Yeah.
We can let her in and tell her what's going on.
Okay.
Judy Brown, welcome. You are the only one you can see in the meeting right now because people are in breakout rooms. I'm Rabbi Mark Novak, and this is my right-hand woman, Devorah Lesk. If you want to say hi, put your video on. It would be lovely. And of course, we'd like to say hello to you.
Breakout rooms will be done in about 4 minutes.
Judy, are you there?
Put her in a room. Should I just put her into a room? This is so strange. Okay. I just put her in the waiting room.
Okay. Yeah, no, she deserves that for not turning on.
Not talking, not turning anything
really.
on. She'll come back in a minute.
Or maybe she'll leave. Oh, now we got two Judy Browns.
Oh.
Okay, she's on two different. That's probably what happened. She couldn't figure out how to unmute herself.
Okay, so we have to admit her twice, right?
You're right. Commit all of her.
Bring all her parts. Okay. Well, maybe she couldn't hear us either before.
Oh, that's true. There she is.
Now it's in the same place.
Okay.
Oh, no, she's still joining.
Hi, Judy. You can hear me? Put your thumb up. So you're trying to join from another device, I see. So one up. It just disappeared.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I'm doing it from my phone, and it's a relatively new phone. And so sorry, I forgot about it, and I thought I'd registered because I did donate, but glad to get in. Thank you for letting me in late.
Of course. So people are in breakout rooms for another 2 minutes or so. We are on the midah, on the characteristics of Chesed, which is loving kindness. I don't know how familiar you are with the whole process. And Reb Moshe Halfon.
Give a warning. Excuse me. Should I just give a warning?
Yeah, why don't you give them a 1 minute warning? That'd be great.
1 more.
Yes, I'm a good friend of Min Kantrowitz.
Oh, lovely. So you'll want to be here on time
also
next.
Miriam Levy is also a good friend of mine.
Beautiful. Are you in Albuquerque?
Yes, I am.
Nice. We love people from Albuquerque.
Oh, well, a lot of people from Albuquerque love you too. So it's the first time we've met, but I'm glad to meet you.
Terrific. Lovely to meet you as well. Welcome to MOSh. We've been very excited about this for a while.
Yeah, I heard about it from Phyllis via the Kol Zimra mailing list.
Oh, nice.
I'm also a chanter, and I've studied the Shefa for many years.
Terrific. So you and I, we travel in different circles together.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, I'm just getting started on Chesed, but yep, I always know what day it is.
There you go. I've got the
I've
book
had
too.
For 5 years now. I'm so happy to meet her.
Who's that?
To meet the author, Min Kantorowicz.
Oh, Min, yes, that's right, because she'll be presenting. Yeah, I just saw
She's
her
in the
today.
class tonight.
Oh,
The book
great.
is no longer available.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
got it because you recommended it the first year I was at MOSh.
Oh, great.
You
Yeah,
used
you
it.
can find it used, so like $200 or something.
Wow. Oh,
Wow.
I've got it. Okay, I'm going to
All
close
right.
the rooms.
Did you close the rooms yet?
I am right now.
All
So,
righty. Thank you.
you can mute me, right? Or shall I turn my mic off? I just don't know the controls.
I can mute you. Yep.
Devorah, I don't know how to turn original sound on my iPads. I should have gone to grab my guitar while I'll sing while people are coming back.
Yeah, I don't know how to do. Oh, that's
Okay. I'll just sing because I won't need my good. I have a guitar here, but I don't know how to do it on an iPad.
So they'll have the 1 minute and then they'll start coming the countdown and then.
Mhm.
In meditation today, they made sure that I had your closing song to play.
But Moshe, I'm going to sing while people are coming back. You're going to need to unmute yourself, Moshe.
There, I'm unmuted. I mean, I'm muted.
Okay.
Unmuted.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Olam chesed yibanei, yaradai, rai, rai, yidididai. Olam chesed yibanei, yaradai, rai, rai, yidididai. Olam chesed yibanei, I will fill this world with love. And you must fill this world with love.
Very good choice.
And if we fill this world with love, then Yah will fill this world with love. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you got to meet some lovely people and shared some lovely expressions of gratitude. It's my pleasure to hand things back to Reb Moshe from this Reb Moshe.
Oh yes. Dan Glasser or Glazer Glass asked, "Are we restarting the recording?" Yes, I think that would be important. So I'm going to put. Oh, happens automatically. She says, and kol hakavod to and blessings of Chesed for Devorah and Reb Mark for the technical side. You know, if you're going to talk about Chesed and Gevurah, perhaps the COVID thing created the need for this online community, and now we've made a leap forward technologically. I put in the chat my Omer chart for this year, again with the understanding that not everybody has done this before, and I'm looking to see where. Oh, there's Sam at the very end. Sam is, as I said, lives in Wellington, Colorado. I see Ken Rosenstein, my old buddy from rabbinical school, and a lot of other people. We also have with us, where is Min? Rabbi Min is teaching tomorrow night. So with respect to Min and any other teachers, I want to give you a little bit of what is happening now this week. We started on Wednesday. Today is a Wednesday night. Well, first night of Pesach was Saturday night. Second night was Sunday night. Sunday night is when you count the Omer. You start this counting. And so I'm going to open the chart and share it with you. And it was also in material I sent to Deb. Everybody's going to have their own chart, folks. let's do that first, and then I'll put up we'll have her put up the material I sent. So on material I sent, the little sheet that I have some listings of several books. Okay, Ted Falcon wrote a great book on the accounting of the Omer. Simon Jacobson wrote a more Kabbalistic one. Min has written a great book, which unfortunately, Min, I can't say I've read it. A lot of people have done it. Maybe someday I'll write one. What I did was and I've seen other charts like this, I take the week, and you can even do this in color, and I will show you a color chart that's really interesting too. So these are just analogies, folks. This is not the end all and be all. For this week, yes, okay, good, thank you. Beginning on Sunday night. For this week, from Sunday to the end of Shabbat on next week, we are in the week of loving kindness. Call it that for lack of a better word. Chesed. All right, so we're looking at this question. How can I love myself more? How can I show more love to others? How can I be more flexible, more less concerned about self? But also, how can I be taking care of myself? So there's a chart I'm going to show you in a minute. Imagine that you have one buddy, one friend that you're spending, that's coming over to your house for the whole week, and that person is just a complete loving person. But you have a second friend, and each friend shows up, and so the second friend tempers or discusses or debates. Presenter's pointer. Okay, so. During this week, we're working with Chesed. I'm just pointing. I don't know if that thing's working. Oh, I see. She's moving it around. So in the way I wrote it, and everybody does it slightly differently, I said loving kindness. And on Monday night to Tuesday, we are dealing with this is just however you want to read it. I read it this way. How could I have more gevura, that's strength, limit setting, saying no, but saying, in a nice way. But how can I do that in such a way that it enhances my sense of love? So you could say, again, if you're in a relationship, many of us tend to get pulled away. Oh, honey, I can't come over. I can't eat dinner with you. I got to take care of this client. So that's really important sometimes. But also, yes, you will receive a copy. But sometimes you have to say no to one thing in order to say yes to something else. So that would be an example of using gevura, strength, limit setting in a way that enhances your love. Or I'm going to take care of myself. So this week I'm taking care of myself. I finished with the Seder. Good, genug. Thank goodness. My synagogue's not that traditional. I didn't have to lead services during the days of Pesach. Now, Tiferet, again, you'll have a person to specialize on Tiferet. I love Tiferet, the third day. That was yesterday till today. We're in it right now. I am. It's still light. So I did my yoga this morning, but I did it with the intention. Tiferet is a quality associated often with balance, equanimity. Again, it's not my day, but I'm not my week, but I'm just sharing it. So how can I have harmony, balance, in order to have more love, right? You get the idea? So I'm still in this week of love, but I'm doing it in a centered way. I'm doing it in a balanced way. Nothing's gonna change my world was John Lennon's song, right? I get a little anxious about where my next gig. I'm moving out of Cheyenne, folks. If anybody wants to tell me about a gig somewhere, I'm looking. But I'm anxious, but I can't be. Today's Tiferet Day. I have to just say, it's up to you, God. Take me where you're gonna have me. Now, Netzach is one of my favorite, partly because I'm a musician, and again, here's where the name does not always coordinate with its theme. Netzach. I'll do the days of creation. If I'm being a little bit haphazard. It's not because it's with how I'm working. It's not an ADHD thing, but that makes me think of Netzach. One more time. Chesed, first day, light, pure light. Not the sun, not the moon, just light, whatever that means. The Big Bang. Gevura, second day, blue, the color blue is associated with it. The sky, the earth, the separations, right? That involves limit setting. Third day of creation, Tiferet, most often associated with the color green. However, healers take attention. If you do work on people like I do Reiki, we don't use green when we're dealing with the heart and the center, but we use instead amethyst and kind of a purple light. But nevertheless, the Tiferet, the third day, the light and the soil and the water bring plants. So the harmony, the center, the balance. Tiferet is the place where you have a good therapist or a rabbi or a teacher, and they just say, be in the balance. Now, so Netzach, fourth day, the stars, the moon, yes, everything is Netzach. It will come back that yes, I will send her the diagram of the body, the sefirot. Netzach down here in the kidney, often associated with that, but Netzach is about creativity, inspiration. So if I'm doing the counting of the Omer, I would say when I get to the fourth week, I could say I could be inspired. I could send my resume to 20 different places. But Hod, the fifth week, says, you know what? You better focus on one or two. Zalman used to call them the Bopsy twins. You know, Netzach is a person who says, yes, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But there's a dark side to every sefirah. If you have too much Netzach energy, you can't get focused. If you have too much Chesed energy, you're giving all the time. You know, you're codependent. So that's why there's a balance between Chesed and Gevura, down up here, and Tiferet and Netzach. So the fourth day, which is tonight, you might say, those of you who I talk to are musicians or doing something creative, here is your homework. Anybody, do something tonight, tomorrow, for yourself or for your loved one in a loving way, but which involves perhaps something creative, planting a plant, doing something surprise, honey, I'm making you dinner, you know. And so with the quality of Netzach, tempering the love, I call it creative love. How can we do creative lovemaking? Tomorrow, or the next evening, is thoughtful love, Hod. And so the way you do this, we're going to do it now. Let's do the blessing, and we'll let's put up it's not on this page. We'll come back to it, but let's put up, there's the Omer ritual. Okay, thank you, Deb. What would I do without somebody like you? All right, so it goes to the top. Song supplement, keep going. This is one of many. I wouldn't be surprised if Min has her own. So this is how I suggest and how I do the Omer. Evening time, you might, this is just my suggestion, you might want to find a partner. Some of you are right in line with, you're all living there in Maryland, Washington, Virginia, near Reb Mark. Or you might find a colleague. I had a friend, maybe you've heard of him, Michael Chesed. Michael was about 6'5". He was known as the Master Blaster, and Zalman, suggested he teach workshops on the shofar, and we were roommates in the 90s. And even when I moved away, we would just call each other, and we would count the Omer on the phone. So you might find a friend, a partner, a fellow rabbi, or just do it. I could do it. I think I did it with, was it you, Sam? Or somebody called me the other day, first night, second night or something, and I didn't have a friend to do it with. So you don't need a witness, but it's nice. So you might read a little bit, materials on Chesed, and then we go like this. And now I'll go down. What I did was go down to the bottom of this page, just so you can see. So I'm going to do this for you, with you. The first kavanah I wrote, but I based it on the second. There is a kavanah from the Ari. Remember, a kavanah is a intention. Hineni, behold. L'shem yichud kutshabrichu shchintei b'tchila uvrimu, and so on and so on. That's all the Kabbalistic stuff. L'shem calls hinei anachnu ba'im l'kayem mitzvat sefirot Omer la'asot nachat ruach. And then he goes on to say, no, where is that? Oh, I got the wrong one. I meant to get Tehilat Hashem. So the second Kavanah that I developed is based on this by the Master of the Universe. You have commanded us through Moses, your servant. This is the text from the Nusach Ari, the Chabad prayer book. You have commanded us to count the Omer, to purify us from evil and uncleanness. That's not my thing. And it says, as I have counted today, may the blemish that I may have caused in the sefirah be rectified and purified. May abundant bounty thereby be bestowed upon all worlds. May it rectify, this is his, and I amplified it, our nefesh, right, our physical self, our ruach, our spiritual, our emotional self, and our nefesh. Our neshama, our higher self. So, this is my kavanah. Each night, or at least, if you can, start this out with this. Read it to yourself as I read it. I hereby commit. This is my witnesses, folks. I got 50 witnesses. I hereby commit to consciously embarking on my Omer journey of transformation this year, releasing the constrictions of my present enslaving thoughts and beliefs, whatever they are. I don't know yet what all they are. I open to the Shefa, again, the never-ending flow of divine energy that carries the blessed energies of each sefirah, each aspect of the divine plan into my life. Again, I channeled it. I don't know, maybe it was based on... Would somebody like to read the Nusach Ari with my slight changes, of course? Anybody want to read the second one? Reb Mark?
May it be the divine will, the source of creation and guide of our ancestors, that through this act of Sfirat HaOmer, counting the Omer, I will heal and correct any misalignments which may exist in the Sfirat within me, in my surroundings, and in the world. May I be cleansed of any impurities and non-useful thought forms and deeds, and may I rise high in holiness. May it refine and purify me from blockages and unhealthfulness on all soul levels, nefesh, bioenergy, ruach, emotions and psychic level, and neshama, mental, spiritual self. May the influence of this act be felt in all celestial worlds and help us to transcend the illusion of separation and duality and enter the experience of oneness and unity. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May it be divine.
And I added that part about separation and duality. I just had to. And somebody in my group talked about physical issues. Could you go back up? So we'll do the counting, and then we'll do the blessing and the counting. So one, it could be. See, Dan, you got a healer right there. Dan has a pussycat right there. Yeah. I'm just looking at people's in people's homes. All I can see is these are my books. I got no cats right now. Lots of vegetables. We say I make this intention for healing. It could be that I need to have more chesed in my life, and so somebody might be having, some of you might be experiencing physical issues, as we all are. We're all aging. It might also be that we want to say, what was it, Burt Bacharach? I know who's the singer. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Well, my friends, I am very upset, and I'm sure many of you are too, about what's happening in the world, in America, in Israel. And all I can do today is say, I'm sending that warrior chesed, right? Powerful, netzach chesed to those places, perhaps. So that's why when he wrote Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama, I said, it's got to be that I'm thinking about my physical self, my emotional self, my spiritual self, and the world. The world is effed up. Let's be real. So we need to bring more of this into the world. Whatever your kavanah will be. Okay, now, with the Netzach energy, we say, I want to do that in the most creative way I can, or in an effusive way, a loving way, a creative wacko way. You know, go to your loved one if you have somebody and just say, I love you, you know, say something that's funny or something powerful. Here we go. So we've said the Omer, we've said the Kavanah, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Al Sefirat HaOmer. I did not put the blessing in. Leave it there. And and when you get to the other weeks, it's a lot harder. We say, so I'll do the an English version of the bracha. I bless you, living spirit of all time and space, for implanting within us the commandment or the incentive, if you will, to count the Omer as we journey on this transformation from slavery to revelation. I didn't comment that much yet about Shavuot. All of this can be seen as, yes, the Israelites were on a journey through the desert on a horse with no name. Ha ha, a little Netzach humor. But also, we are on that journey. And so you might say to yourself, as a part of this Kavanah, Hashem, God, angels, higher self, higher spirit, my dad, I connect with my dad sometimes on the other side. What is it that I need to work on to get to Shavuot? Not necessarily with absolute connection to that day, but that might manifest next year, right? Because things take a while to manifest. A lot of people say, plant your parsley for Pesach at Tu B'Shvat. So plant your seeds for next year in this counting. Okay, so the English, blessed are you, Adonai, who have planted within us the desire to count these days as days of growth. And then we say, and do this on your own, Hayom Arba'a Yamim LaOmer. Today is 4 days of the Omer. And next week, when you're meeting with Min, it'll be a little bit more challenging because each day you say, today is the 20th day of the Omer, which is, 2 weeks and 4 days of the Omer. That's how they do it. And now we did this, I think, in our groups. Take a moment after this is over to meditate and maybe journal on what it is this chesed might mean for you. So at least number 6, at least I'm going to suggest that we do this 7 times, all right, for the 7 weeks. So it's Netzach Shebechesed. Together, on your own, Netzach Shebechesed. Spontaneity in love. Creativity in caring for myself. I'm ad-libbing, of course. So we say 7 times. Netzach Shebechesed. Netzach Shebechesed. Netzach Shebechesed. Netzach Shebechesed. Netzach Shebechesed. I think that was 6. Netzach Shebechesed. And lastly, and then maybe we'll have some questions. If you could scroll down to the Ana B'Koach. Yeah. You remember, folks, I didn't write this stuff. I just use it. I said I'm a practical Kabbalist. I have heard different people use the Anabachoa for different reasons. A lot of, again, it's a blessing that I didn't spend a great deal of time among really heavy-duty Kabbalists in Israel, but rather with Reb Zalman and Ted Falcon and other people here. But they use this. People will do the Ana B'Koach on Friday night. It's part of Shabbat ritual. The way Reb Zalman explained it, and this is his translation, is source of mercy, Ana B'Koach, with your strength, B'Koach, Gedulat Yamincha, with your right hand, Hashem, or any universe, Tatir Tzurah, untie the things, the knots that are connecting us to past patterns. We want to break those old patterns. Codependence, addiction, yelling, speeding, addictions, whatever, but also just, whatever is getting in my way. Sorry about the formatting. And then we sing the Baruch Shem Kivod. So here's Zalman's and then Chanati Feretz. And there are others out there. There's a new one somebody wrote in Israel, part of the Minyan in Jerusalem. But I always liked Zalman's meditative tune. Ana b'koach gedulat yamincha tahatir tzrura ay 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 ay, source of mercy with loving strength, untie our tangles, ay 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 ay. Baruch Shem kivod malchuto leolam vaed. Through time and space your glory shines, O Holy One. Ay, 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 ay. We're nearing the time to close. This is Chana Tiferet's tune. It's more upbeat. I like them both. Ana bekoach gedulat yamincha tahatir surah. I don't think she did the English, but here's the go. Source of mercy, with your loving strength, untie the knots that tie us to the past. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam avad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam avad. All right, can you go down to the last song here, if you want to? Nobody else knows this but me. I mean, I want to do this. I said, and this will be our closing. Where are we going? We're going to the mountain. We're going to be together again at Shavuot. And so Ariella Shira, who's not on tonight, is a beautiful woman from L.A., married to a doctor, and was my partner in creating Amor Olam, my first Jewish renewal synagogue, which still exists now, but as a nonprofit. I may rejuvenate it. Mark, you've inspired me. I think I got to start a Zoomagog now. And Shirley, Sarah, this is like I was doing for Yaakov. I prayed for her health. Shirley is one of those spry women who at 75 years old took me on my first climbing gig, up the mountain. She would belay me up the sides of the in the indoor gyms. So she's now 85, and I hope that she's still well. So together, Ariella Shira, who's not a singer, and Shirley Kashoff, who is a singer, wrote this song. It's very simple. Come, oh come to the holy mountain. Come, oh come from your narrow places. Come, oh come to the holy mountain. From constrictions of the body, from constrictions of the heart, from constrictions of the mind, from constrictions of the Spirit. And on Shavuot, when I sing it, we have come. Come, oh come, to the holy wedding. Come, oh come, to the beloved one. Come, oh come, to the holy wedding. Be one with the beloved. It ends on the non-resolved chord. Be one in the one heart. Be in the one mind. Be one in spirit. Namaste. Thank you all. Thank you, Mark and Deb, and all of the people in the Zoomagog. And I had to do this because the name of this group is MOSh.
That's right, Reb Moshe.
So I'm a MOSh.
Thank you. Thank you
Moshes.
so much for your
Guess
generous offering this evening. Let's again thank Reb Moshe with a traditional Minyan Oneg Shabbat. Thank you.
Thank you.
And on to Min next week. Guess where I'm going now after this? I have a board meeting. I mean, online. But so give me the chesed to face my board.
Well, that's why I said I would never be the rabbi of a traditional synagogue, because I don't do board meetings. In any case, I want to thank everyone for coming this evening. And because, us Jews, we show up. That's how we show our love for each other and our respect for each other. I do want to raise up that next week, Reb Min Kantrowitz. Min, do you want to say just like one word or two of hi and what we're going to be doing together next week? You need to unmute yourself. That either that's a no or you're not unmuted yet. There you go.
I told it to unmute me twice. Finally listened to this technology. Gevura, everyone's favorite. It's the one that most people have struggle with. And I think it's in many ways the richest of all the sefirot. That's what we'll be talking about. I'm Rabbi Min Kantrowitz, freelancing in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm glad to see you all.
Thank you, Reb Min. And I also want to welcome several colleagues of mine, Rabbi Gila Langner. I'll be home tomorrow night. Reb Abby Mikulski. Abby, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. And I see Reb Sunny Schnitzer is here as well. And Elisheva Hurwich was here before. And she'll be teaching one of our weeks as well. Not to worry, when I get home, I'll be sending all the material out that we've seen this evening to you all. So expect it either sometime on Friday or certainly before next week when we meet. Take Reb Moshe's invitation at heart, meaning that now we have the introduction or we have the inspiration to continue this work. And it's work that really is very personal work. When we meditate, it's very personal, but Reb Zalman of blessed memory would say we sometimes meditate, it's socialized meditation. So on Wednesday nights, we're going to be getting together for socialized journey into the Omer, but it's up to each one of us to take the invitation to do a little love tonight, in a creative way in the next 24 hours and meditate on that tonight. Perhaps when you meditate on it, something will come up. That's it. That's what I want to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend more time with my third grandchild, who for the very first time I put to bed. And also I spent 2 hours just myself, and she's 5 months old. So that was the giving and receiving. I got all of that this evening. And so what a gift that was. Also want to thank Reb Elgato, who was visiting from Silver Spring, and Dan Glazer's Zoom room. The cat is a very, very sacred animal as well.
That's what it was.
And thank you to all the moshniks who were here, and thank you to all of you who are here for the first time in Minyan Oneg Shabbat. What we have, you are moshniks in waiting. And so you're a moshnik if you show up. And if you would like to be on our mailing list to know everything about whenever we meet, we are a fully functioning synagogue that meets online with caring teams and financial sustainability teams and programming teams, and most importantly, loving kindness that just present all of the time. Again, thank you again, Reb Moshe. We'll end with Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadadai, yadadadai. I will build this world from love. Yalalai, lai, lai, you must build, and you must build this world from love. Yalalai, lai, lai, and if we build this world from love, yalalai, lai, lai, then God will build this world from love. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Join me, everyone. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai, lai. Laila Tov, everyone. See you next Wednesday. Tell a friend, bring them with you. Come on back, and we'll see you again. And it's never too early to say good Shabbos and good Yom Tov. Chag Sameach, everyone. Moadim l'simcha.
Moadim l'simcha.